Alright guys, so I'm going to make myself a Portuguese soup. Kale soup, I don't know if you ever heard of it. Basically I'm cooking some hamburger. I got like, I don't know, 3-4 pounds of hamburger. I'm kind of cooking it all up, rendering it down, get all the fat out of it. This big pan here, I got, basically, when I made turkey dinners last year, I saved all the juice from the turkey. So that's what I'm going to use for the stock. All the turkey juice and stuff. I'll start off the stock. I'm going to be rendering down this meat here. It's like chuck meat. Got like 3 big packages of that. I'll cook all that inside the juice, cut it all up in small pieces with the hamburger, and we got Portuguese chorizo. It's like a red sausage. It's actually turkey, so it's not as bad for you, but I got chorizo and linguiça here. I'll cut all this up in small pieces, so that'll be all the meat part. And then I got kidney beans and some diced tomatoes, a bunch of kidney beans and stuff. I'll be putting all that in there. Then it's basically going to be onions and potatoes and kale and cabbage all mixed together. We call a kale soup, Portuguese soup. It's very good. Obviously seasoning and stuff like that, but I'll show you as I go along. Alright guys, I cooked all the hamburger down and rendered all the fat out of it. I got it all in, soaked it all up with rags, paper towels I should say. So I'll mix that in with the Portuguese soup. You know, this is kind of something that I put in there. I like a little hamburger with my stuff. Not going to hurt anything. I add a little bit of extra stuff. Alright guys, you've probably heard of chorizo or linguiça. This is chorizo here. It's basically a little bit more spicier. And then the linguiça is a little bit skinnier. You know, basically it's like a red sausage type of thing. Portuguese type of sausage. That's what it looks like. I got it all cut up. Very good. It's like kind of like a hard sausage. It's not really greasy type of thing. It's very good. Now this is the turkey. They have regular chorizo, but the turkey is less fattening. That's usually what I buy. It tastes the same to me. So I'm gonna cut it all up, and it's gonna go in the soup for the meat. You know, I'm rendering down all the turkey juice. It's kind of a nice thick. Instead of using chicken broth, I'll use this broth. It'll be fine. Should be good. Once that broth melts down, that was in the freezer. Alright guys, basically what I got here is I got chunk meat. Usually get the bone-in one, but this one's even better. Be able to cut. What I'm doing is I'm cutting all the gristle out. Now I'm just chopping it up all in small pieces. It's going to be a soup, so I'm just going to throw it all in there and let it render down and cook, you know. It's all in bite-sized pieces. I'll just throw it in there with the chorizo and the hamburger, and that'll be all my meat. So I'll just cut it all up in small pieces. I got like quite a few packages of this. And you know, once the soup gets going, I'll just throw everything in there and let it cook. You know, plenty of meat. It's going to be nice and hearty. Alright guys, I got 4 Vidalia onions here. I'm going to chop them up, throw them right in the soup. Basically all rendered down the juice. You can see it's all nice turkey juice in there. I'll chop them onions up and get a little foggy there. Chop them onions up and throw them right in there. Yeah, I got some nice Yukon Jack potatoes. I cleaned them all good in the colander over there. I like to leave the skin on them. Any bad spots I'll cut off and I'll chop them up in small pieces. I think there's a lot of nutrition in the skin. That's what I like. Either the red skin or the Yukon. So let me chop them up. Alright guys, I got all my cleaned potatoes. Diced, cleaned. Put it in there with the onions. And I'm going to put this meat in. Chopped up meat, chorizo and meat mixed. Put all that in there and start cooking all that, render all that down. Got the hamburger, dump that in there too. It's all in that turkey gravy, or turkey renderings. Start cooking this down. Once this, I'll add salt and pepper later once. Whew. Sorry for the steam, guys. Got all steamed up there. So basically what I have in there is my potatoes, my onions, chorizo, cut up meat and hamburg, and the turkey drippings from last year. I'm gonna heat all that up. In the meantime, I'll get the rest of my stuff ready here. I'll put a couple of cans of this diced tomatoes, big cans, and 1 can of ragu sauce. Give it a little spice. Alright guys, I put oregano in there, ground pepper, garlic salt, and sea salt. It's a little hard to do it one-handed here, especially with the ground pepper, grinding the pepper and stuff. So I'll let this, the potatoes and stuff I gotta cook, so it's gonna take a while to render down. Next thing I gotta do is clean these beans. The beans will go in next, and the kale and the cabbage. Won't mind the mess. I just went food shop and I gotta pick all these bags and stuff up. Just come back from food shop and this is all gonna be picked up. So, alright guys, basically it's the kale here. Basically you just clean it and pull it apart into pieces, chunks like that. Throw it in there. It'll render way down. Cabbage, head of cabbage. And I got the beans all cleaned. Red kidney beans, and I just got some white ones just to kind of change the color up a little bit, but red and white. Well, that's it. Basically just do that, and I'm rendering all this down, and the beans and the kale and the cabbage go in at the end. Won't take long to cook that. Alright guys, I got all the kale and the cabbage in there, and I'm just kind of rendering it down. Beans and whatnot. I'm just going to let it cook until the cabbage is done. Oh, it'll be done. Big ass pan. What I'll do is I got a big freezer in the basement. I'll get a bunch of containers and I'll have soup for a long time. Freeze it. Portuguese soup. Nothing like that. It's getting cold here now, so getting on soup weather. Let it render for a little bit longer. Let it cook. Too bad I didn't have smell-o-vision. It smells great in here. Alright guys, here's the soup here. Good to me. Very good.
guys. Thanks for watching.